And there we have our first face. So, it isn't coloured in yet, so if you try and render it by hitting Ctrl R, it won't show anything, but we'll wait a bit later for that. Now that we have our head, we're going to have to add our neck. So let's make a slim shape like this, and then join it up at the ends by pressing the space button. Now, the trouble with this neck is here, it's bulging out when we don't want it to bulge out, because this line is curving round. So to avoid this, I'll go over to here, to the curvature tool. We can sharpen the point like this. If you click on it and drag in the right direction, you can make it more curvy or less curvy. In this case, we want it sharp. Now it may look like these lines are overlapping, but that doesn't matter, because they're not welded together, so it won't actually make any real difference. So keep adjusting to seem happy with your shape. And now we can move on to the body. Now the body and the arms are going to be separate, just for simplicity and ease in animation. So let's just draw out torso. I'm using the right mouse button to pan the view so I can move around easily. Now that I've got this, let's select all those points. Or if you don't want to select them all, simply click on the line and it selects all the points attached to that. Control C, Control V, flip, move, and that may look like a torso, but it's not, because the points aren't welded together and don't make a complete shape. So what we're going to have to do is weld these ourselves. If you need to, zoom in closer to see the difference. There we go, we have a whole shape now, which is ready to be filled, if so we wanted. Now we can add legs. We'll start off with the box shape, as the legs are boxy. But that's a bit too kind of sharp, so again we're going to use the curvature tool. Make it a bit bigger. Now we've got the perfect curvature, let's not try and imitate it, let's just copy and paste it. There you go, now we have two legs. We can add the knees and lower leg the same way. Okay, you'll notice that my character has now gone outside this purple box, which is a trouble because only the things inside the purple box get rendered in the final output. So what I'm going to have to do is select the whole thing and scale it down. And now I can move it about a bit until it fits back on. Now it's fitting back on, I can add some shoes. Just going to do some simple shoes. With them facing sideways. Again, that's too bulgy, so I'm going to change it with the curvature tool. And adjust that so it looks more like a shoe. Copy, paste, flip, and put in place. Okay, now we have a head, neck, torso, legs, and shoes. So to finish it off, we need our arms and then our hair. We're going to work on the arms next. The arms we can do with the add point tool. Make sure you do not connect it to here, because if you do, then you're going to have trouble later when animating, because it's attached. So I'll quickly undo that. Make sure it's a separate shape, which isn't connected to that. Okay, that's well welded. Can sharpen the ends of the t-shirt. And then add an arm. Can use the rectangle tool. And then rotate. Now because this is an arm, we're going to want it to bend. So let's add some points so in animation we can actually bend it. So that's going to be a bending point. Let's move this so his arm looks a little bit more natural. Now instead of spending loads of time doing a hand, it's just easier to do just a ball in this case, since it would take too long for this tutorial. So just have a simple ball hand. Nothing too fancy, easy enough to drag down. So there we have our arm and our shoulder. Now to select both of them, you get the select points tool and you click on the line of one shape, and once you've got the first one selected, hold down shift and click on the other one, and now they're both selected. Now you press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, flip and move around. Okay. The final part is the hair. Now the hair can be as complex or as uncomplex as you want. You could just have a very simple flat haircut. Similar to that, where it's just flat. But I find that's a bit dull, and a lot of characters need their hair to bring their personality to them. So I'm going to make it a little bit more spiky. So I'm going to use the add line tool, or add point, and start here, and just add a few spikes. And keep going around. Make sure at the lowest point you go back into the head, otherwise it will look like the hair is sitting on top, not actually attached to his head. So all I'm doing is just keep on clicking and dragging every time I want to make a turn, a significant turn. I don't click too often, otherwise you're going to have too many points. And it's welded together there. Now, the spiky bits of the hair aren't quite spiky enough because they're curved, so we have to use the curvature tool to sharpen up. So all the ends of the hair and all the in extremes of the hair. Make it sharp. And then we have our hair. I'm not sure how well it's coming up on the small screen, but you should be able to see there's a character here now. All the way down, legs to feet. Of course there's nothing to see yet if you render, because there's no shapes, there's no actually coloured in shapes. But that's going to be gone through in the next part of the tutorial. So for now, save as character. And in the next tutorial we'll go over colour.